Yes.
So our progress report says we are at stage 2, paragraph page 68. Okay, and
Okay.
our last headword was only newer type of lesson. Okay, so let's
Okay.
start with our revision. Ready?
Okay. I'm
Okay,
ready.
there we go. About how many people are there in your country? About how many
There,
people are there in your country? There
uh,
are
there
about
are there are about 100 million
in
people
my
in my
country.
country.
Very good. About how many things are there in this room? About how many things are there in this room? There are about
There are about 12, 12 things
in
in
that
that
room.
room.
Very good. About how many pages are there in this book? About how many pages are there in this book? There are about
There are about 100 pages in that book.
in that. Very good. Okay. Can you speak Japanese? Can you speak Japanese? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
can
can
speak.
speak Japanese.
Can you touch this book? Can you touch this book? No, I
No,
can't
I can't
touch
touch
that
that
book.
book.
Can you read and write? Can you read and write? Yes, I can read and
Yes, I
write.
can read and write.
Very good. Do you like your city? Do you like your city? Yes or no?
Yes, I like my city.
Very good. Do you dislike the cinema? Do you dislike the cinema? No, I don't
No, I
dislike
don't
the cinema.
dislike the cinema.
I
I
like.
like cinema.
Do you like that picture? Honestly, do you like that picture? Yes or no?
Yes, I like the
That.
picture.
Oh, you're so kind of you. Very good. Do you dislike?
Yeah.
Do you dislike television? Do you dislike television? No,
No, I don't dislike the
I
television.
like
I like
television.
television.
Very good. Do you think does she dislike the television? Does she dislike the television? Yes or no?
No, yeah, no, she doesn't dislike television. She likes television.
Very good. Which hands this? Which hands this? It's your.
It's your right hand.
What's which hands this? Which hands this? It's your.
It's your left hand.
Very good. Okay, next. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're putting your right hand
You, you're putting your right hand
on the
on
book.
your book,
On your book.
on the book.
Very good. On your book is also correct. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're closing
You're touch,
your left
you're
eye. You're closing.
you're you're closing your left eye.
Very good. Okay. Is my hand moving? Is my hand moving? No, your hand
No,
isn't
your
moving.
hand is moving.
It's
Isn't
still.
moving. It's still.
Very good. Am I sitting still? Am I sitting still? No,
No,
you
you
aren't
aren't
sitting still.
sitting still.
You're
You are
moving.
moving.
Are all the parts of your body still now? Are all the parts of your body still now? No,
No,
not all
all
the
my part,
parts of my body.
all the
One
part
more.
of my body
No,
isn't.
no, not all the
No,
parts
ah, no, not all the
of
parts
my
of
body are still
of my
now.
body are still now.
My mouth and my tongue are moving.
My mouth and the tongue are moving.
Very good. Do you generally sit completely still in the lesson? Do you generally sit completely still in the lesson? No, I
No,
don't generally
I,
sit.
I don't really.
I don't generally sit
I I don't generally sit
completely still in the lesson.
completely in the
I
lesson.
move.
I I move.
Very good. Does she generally sit completely still in the lesson? Does she generally sit completely still in the lesson? Yes or no?
No,
She
she
doesn't generally sit
generally sit
completely still in the
completely
lessons.
still in the
She
lesson.
moves.
She moves.
Very good.
Okay.
What clothes are you wearing? What clothes are you wearing? I'm wearing.
I'm wearing a t-shirt.
Very good. Are you wearing glasses? Are you wearing glasses? Yes or no?
No, I'm not wearing glasses.
Very good. Are you wearing a hat? Are you wearing a hat? Yes or no?
N- No, I'm not
Good.
wearing a hat.
Do you wear a hat? Do you wear a hat? Yes or no?
Yes, I wear a hat.
Very good. Are you wearing a coat? Are you wearing a coat? Yes or no?
No, I'm wearing a coat.
Do,
Uh,
do you
I
wear a
don't wear.
coat? Do you wear a coat? Yes, I
Yes,
wear a
I
coat.
wear a coat.
Very good. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're touching your
You're
nose
touching
with
your
your
nose.
finger. With your finger.
Ah, you're touching
Nose
you're touching your nose with
with
your
your finger.
finger.
Very good. Do we speak with our mouths? Do we speak with our mouths? Yes, we
No,
speak. Yes, we speak with our mouth.
okay. Yes, you speak with your mouth.
Very good.
With our mouth.
Do we read with our eyes? Do we read with our eyes? Yes, we read with our eyes.
Ah, yes, we read with our eyes.
Very good. How much is half of 100? How much is half of 100? 50
Uh, uh,
is half of 100.
uh, 50 is half of 50 is a half of 100.
Very good. How much is half of 13? How much is half of 13? Six and a half.
50 uh,
Six and a half
you say 6.5
is half of
is
13.
a half of half of 13.
Very good. Are half of the people in your town men? Are half of the people in your town men? Yes. Half of the
Yes, the
people
half
in my
of the
town
people
are
in
men.
my town are men.
Very good. Tell me your name. Tell me your name, please. My name's
My
Joey.
name's Zoe.
What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm telling you my name.
I'm I'm telling you my name. Okay.
Tell me the names of the capital of Russia. Tell me the name of the capital of Russia, please.
The
Moscow's
most Moscow is a name
capital
of the capital
of Russia.
of Russia.
What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm telling you the name of the capital
I'm
of Russia.
uh, I'm telling you the name of the capital of Russia.
Very good. Are you Russian or Greek? Are you Russian or Greek? No,
No,
I'm
I'm not
not a Russian or Greek.
I'm not a Russian or Greek. I'm
I'm.
Japanese.
Do you
I'm
speak?
a Japanese.
I'm Japanese.
I'm Japanese.
Very good. Do you speak Greek? Do you speak Greek? No,
No,
I
I
don't
don't speak
speak Greek.
Greek.
I speak
I
Japanese.
speak Japanese.
Very good. Which do you prefer, the cinema or television? Which do you prefer, the cinema or television? I
I
prefer
prefer the cinema
to.
to television.
Very good.
Television.
Which do you prefer, tea or coffee? Which do you prefer, tea or coffee?
I prefer coffee to tea.
Very good. Which does she prefer, tea or coffee? Which does she prefer, tea or coffee? He
Uh,
prefers.
he he
She.
she
He
she
prefers.
she prefers tea to coffee.
Very good. Do the English generally prefer coffee? Do the English generally prefer coffee? No.
No,
The
they
English,
don't.
or no, the
The
English
English
don't generally prefer.
don't play. The English
Don't generally
don't
prefer
generally prefer
coffee.
coffee.
They generally
They
prefer
they
tea.
ju- they generally prefer tea.
Very good. Okay. Are both my hands on the table? Are both my hands on the table? Yes. Both
Yes,
your hands
both your hands
are
are
on the
on the
table.
table.
Very good. Are both these books closed? Are both these books closed? Yes. Both
Yes,
those books
both those books
are
are
closed.
closed.
Very good. Which is it right to say? Both of us or both us? Which is it right to say? Both us or both of us? It's right to say both of us.
Both of us.
What it's right to say,
Oh,
it's right, like it's correct. It's right to
okay.
say.
Okay. Both of us. It's nice to say.
Very
Right
good.
to say.
Very good. Are both of us sitting? Are both of us sitting? Yes. Both of us
Yes,
are
both
sitting.
of us are
Sitting.
uh, sitting.
Sitting
Sitting.
down. Very good. Do both of them speak English? Do both of them speak English? Yes.
Yes,
Both of
both
them
of
speak
them
English.
speak English.
Are both of us speaking English? Are both of us speaking English? Yes. Both of
Yes,
us
both of
are
us
speaking
are
English.
speaking English.
Very good. Are we both sitting? Are we both sitting? No. We aren't
No,
both sitting.
we aren't both sitting.
You
We
I'm sitting,
I'm
but
sitting.
you're standing.
But you're
Ve-
standing.
Very good. Okay, next. What does the word hello mean in Japanese? What does the word hello mean in Japanese? The word
Uh,
hello
the
means
word hello means uh,
konnichiwa
konnichiwa
in
in
Japanese.
Japanese.
Very good. What does the word goodbye mean in Japanese? What does the word goodbye mean in Japanese? The word goodbye
The word
means
goodbye means
sayonara
sayonara in
in
Japanese.
Japanese. Very good. What do the words thank you mean in Japanese? What do the words thank you mean in Japanese? The words
The word
thank you mean
thank you means arigato
in
in
Japanese.
Japanese.
Very good. Which language are we speaking now? Which language are we speaking now? We are
We
speaking
are speaking
English now.
English now.
Which language do you generally speak? Which language do you generally speak? I
I
generally speak
generally speak
Japanese.
Japanese.
Which language does she generally speak? Which language does she generally speak? She
She
generally speaks
generally speaks
English.
English.
Is Chinese a European language? Is Chinese a European language? No, Chinese
No,
isn't a
Chinese
European
isn't a
language.
European
It's an
language.
Asian
It's
language.
an Asian
Where
language.
is Germany an Asian country? Is Germany an Asian country? No, Germany
No,
isn't
Germany
an
isn't
Asian country. An
Asian
Asian,
country.
it's a
It's
European
a
country.
European country.
Very good. Okay, what's the negative of I have? What's the negative of I have? The negative of
The
I
negative
have
of I have
is I have not.
is I don't I have not.
Right? What's the contraction of I have not? What's the contraction of I have not? The
The
contraction
contraction
of I
of
have
I
not
have not
is
is I haven't.
very good. Have I got four arms? Have I got four arms? No,
No,
you haven't
you
got
you haven't
two
got four
four
arms.
arms. You've only got
You only got two arms.
very good. Have you got two heads? Have you got two heads? No, I
No,
haven't
I
got
haven't
two
got
heads.
two heads.
I've
I
only got
I've only got one head.
one head.
One head.
Very good. Has he only got one hand? Has he only got one hand? No, he
No,
hasn't only got
he hasn't only got
one hand.
one hand.
He's got two hands.
He's got two hands.
Wait, has she got two noses? She got two noses? No,
No,
she hasn't
she
got
hasn't
two
got
noses. She's only
two
got
noses. She's only got
one nose.
one nose.
Have we only got one mouth? Have we only got one mouth? No, we
No,
haven't only got, we
we
haven't
haven't
only got
only got
one mouth. We've
one
got
mouth.
two mouths.
We've got two mouths.
We're gonna have they've got 8 ears. Have they've got 8 ears? No, they
No,
haven't got
they haven't got
8 ears.
8 ears.
They've only got
They only got
4 ears.
4 ears.
Very good, and that's the end of our revision. Very good. Let's have
Okay.
numeric. Okay, let's start. Okay, repeat. The same as,
The same as,
different from,
different from
Japan.
Japan.
Very good. Okay, listen. For example, this book is the same as this book, but this book
Uh,
is different from this book.
okay.
Okay, so let's practice. Are your shoes the same as my shoes? Are your shoes the same as my shoes? No, my
No,
shoes aren't
my
the same
shoes are the
as your
same
shoes.
as your
They
shoes.
are different from your shoes.
They're different from your shoes.
Wait, are the French the same as the Russians? Are the French the same as the Russians? No, the French
No,
aren't the same
The French aren't the same
as the
as
Russians.
Russians.
They are different from the Russians.
They're different from Russians.
Very good. Are your eyes the same color as my eyes? Are your eyes the same color as my eyes? Yes or no?
Yes,
My eyes are the same
my eyes
color
are the same
as your
color
eyes.
as your eyes.
Very good. Do the people in Germany speak the same language as the people in Japan? Do the people in Germany speak the same language as the people in Japan? No.
No,
The people in
the
Germany
people in
don't
Germany
speak the
don't
same
speak
language
the same
as the
language
people in Japan.
as the people
They
in
speak
Japan.
a different language.
They
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 speak
they
a different
speak
language
a
from the
different
people
language from the
of
people
in Japan.
of in Japan.
Which is it right to say? People are or people is? Which is it right to say? People are or people is?
People
It's right
people
to
are.
say
It's right to say
people are.
people are.
Very good. Okay, next repeat. Anybody.
Anybody.
Non-specific.
No specific.
Somebody.
No specific. Some
Non-specific.
non specific.
Somebody.
Somebody.
Not anybody.
Not anybody.
Who?
Who?
Specific.
Specific.
Mrs. Brown.
Mrs. Brown.
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Very good. Okay, listen. Both anybody and somebody mean dareka in Japanese. We use anybody in questions and negative sentences. We use somebody in positive sentences. For example, in a question, is there anybody sitting here? And then positive, yes, there's somebody sitting here. Okay,
Okay.
another one. Question, is there anybody sitting here? And then negative, no, there isn't anybody sitting here. Anybody is non-specific question and has a non-specific answer. Whereas when
Mhm.
we use who, it's specific and has a specific answer. For example, when we say who, we say Mr. Brown, Mr. Smith, or nobody or somebody.
Mhm.
Let's practice. What do the words
Okay.
anybody and somebody mean in Japanese? What do the words anybody and somebody mean in Japanese? The words anybody
The word
and somebody
anybody
mean
and somebody
dareka
mean
in Japanese.
dareka in Japanese.
What's the difference between anybody and somebody? What's the difference between anybody and somebody? The difference between
Difference between
anybody and
anybody
somebody is that
and and somebody is
we
that
use anybody
we
in
use
questions
anybody in
and negative
questions
sentences,
in negative sentences,
whereas we use
whereas
somebody
we use
in
somebody
positive
in
sentences.
positive sentences.
Very good. Next, repeat anybody.
Anybody.
Very good. Okay, listen. Anybody is a pronoun. For example,
Mhm.
is there anybody in this room? Yes, there's somebody in that room. Is there anybody speaking to you? Yes, there's somebody speaking to me. Is there anybody sitting here on this chair? Yes, there's somebody sitting there on that chair. Let's
Mhm.
practice. Is there
Okay.
anybody in this room? Is there anybody in this room? Yes,
Yes.
there's somebody
Yes. Somebody
in that room.
in the room.
One more. Yes, there's somebody
Yes, there's
in
somebody
that
in that
room.
room.
Very good. Is there anybody speaking to you? Is there anybody speaking to you? Yes, there's
Yes,
somebody
there's somebody
speaking.
speaking to me.
Very good. Is there anybody sitting there on that chair? Is there anybody sitting there on that chair? Yes, there's
Yes,
somebody
there's somebody
sitting there
sitting on there
on that chair.
on that chair.
Very good. Next, repeat. Not anybody.
Not anybody.
Corridor. Corridor.
Corridor.
Very good. Okay, listen. Corridor is a noun. For example, outside the door, the hallway,
Mhm.
it's called a corridor. For
Okay.
there isn't anybody sitting on the floor. There isn't anybody in this room wearing a hat. Or there isn't anybody in the corridor. Okay, let's
Mhm.
practice.
Okay.
Is there anybody sitting on the floor? Is there anybody sitting on the floor? No, there
No,
isn't anybody
anybody
sitting on the floor.
on the floor.
Is there anybody in this room wearing a hat? Is there anybody in this room wearing a hat? No, there
No,
isn't
there
anybody
isn't anybody
sitting.
where
I'm sorry,
sitting
one more. No,
wearing a hat.
there isn't
No, the, there isn't
anybody
anybody
in that room wearing a
in that
hat.
room wearing a hat.
Is there anybody in the corridor? Is there anybody in the corridor? No,
No,
there
there
isn't anybody
isn't anybody
in the.
in the corridor.
Very good. Next, repeat. Nobody.
Nobody.
Very good. Okay, let's see. Nobody is also a pronoun. For example,
Mm,
we're speaking English in this room. Nobody's
mm,
speaking French in this room. We're wearing
okay.
clothes in this room. Nobody's wearing a hat in this room. We're all in the room. Nobody's in the corridor. Let's
Okay.
practice. Who's speaking English in this room? Who's speaking English in this room? We're speaking
We are
English
speaking
in
English
this room.
in this room.
Who's speaking French in this room? Who's speaking French in this room? Nobody's
Nobody
speaking French
speaking French
in
in
this
this
room.
room.
Who's wearing clothes in this room? Who's wearing clothes in this room? We're wearing
We are
clothes
wearing a clothes.
in this room.
We are
Remember?
wearing
We're like we
we
are,
are we are
but we're
wearing
wearing clothes
clothes
in this room.
in this room.
One more. We're wearing clothes
We are wearing clothes in
in
this
this room.
room.
Very good. Who's wearing a hat in this room? Who's wearing a hat in this room? Nobody's wearing
Nobody's
a hat
wearing
in
a
this room.
hat in this room.
Who's giving you an English lesson? Who's giving you an English lesson? You're giving
You
me
you're giving
an
me
English.
a English lesson.
Who's in the corridor? Who's in the corridor? Nobody's in
Nobody's
the car.
in the corridor.
Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to our reading.
Hey,
Very good. Okay, so our reading is at stage one, page 24. Okay, the last head word
yes.
was there. Okay, please start at head word. High, low, what?
Okay. High, low, but is the chair high? No, the chair isn't high. It's low. Is the wall low? No, the wall isn't low. It's high. Is the table high? No, the table isn't high. It's low. Okay.
Imperatives.
Hmm?
Page
Imperative.
25.
25. Oh, okay.